IVM.
ये पॉडकास्ट तो फिल्म का पॉडकास्ट है जन्मों का has it aged well? I didn't have a rhyme
मेरे
for that. Sorry,
मेरे
I had to.
अब्बास उर्जिता आएंगे, गेस्ट को लेके आएंगे.
I thought Abbas
Hello.
would say, ये पॉडकास्ट तो फिल्मों का पॉडकास्ट है, गानों का बंधन है.
I should have. My other option was podcast तो गियो, but then I was like उसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा है. So then I stuck with this one.
मुझको
Hello,
राणा जी
and
माफ करना,
guys,
गलती
let me
ना
introduce the show. Hello and welcome to Has It Aged Well. My name is Abbas. Joining me from her house is my co-host Urjita Vani. Hi Urjita.
Hello.
Hello. And that was a song from the 1995 super duper hit Karan Arjun, which is for me it's in the Hall of Fame of Punarjanam films. And to talk about Karan Arjun with us, joining us all the way from Bangalore, is a stand-up comedian extraordinaire. He did a mini podcast before we actually started rolling with the podcast. He gave us a lot of gyan on Buster Keaton and stand-up comedy because he's a stand-up comedian himself. Stand-up comedian, writer, actor? Question mark. He's joining us from Bangalore. You must have seen him on Comicstan and a whole bunch of other things on YouTube and TV. Please welcome to Has It Aged Well, Mr. Shankar Chugani.
Hello. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'm very excited. Karan Arjun is one of my favorites.
Shanky, before we move on, just tell us a little bit about yourself. For anyone who's listening to this who's not heard of you or doesn't know you, just tell us who you are.
So, for most of the people who are listening to this who have no idea who I am, my name is Shankar Chugani. I've been doing stand-up comedy for close to a decade in September in Bangalore. I grew up in
Wait.
Kunur.
This is where we hold for applause. Okay, continue.
So I've done some writing work, some little bit of acting on stage. I used to work at a theater called Jagriti, which is one of the best theater places in the country. And I've done a couple other jobs, but for the most part, apart from selling homemade chocolates in my hometown, I've been doing stand-up for 10 years in Bangalore and just enjoying that as much as I can. I like stand-up so much. I don't know if you people can see. I got a tattoo done. Try and make it as visible as possible. Can you guys see?
Okay,
I've
just
got
for
a
the
mic.
Oh,
Chai.
for the audio listeners, just describe what the tattoo
Okay,
is.
so describing on my left hand, I have a tattoo that has a mic, a chai ka glass, a cutting chai ka glass, tea plantation wala hill station, and family tree all in one place.
oh man, this is so
Nice.
nice.
So just
Yeah, it's like all the elements in your life that make up Shankar who he is.
matter. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Shankar is like you
Okay,
go all in or you don't go in at all.
At all,
He's
yeah.
just so passionate.
Just
about
like this
everything.
podcast, you either don't do the movie, or if you do the movie, you freaking just do a deep dive on it.
Yeah, podcast aega.
I-
That's all we
So
need to
for-
keep saying. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Rakhi Gulzar in this film. So for the rest of the movie, we're going to call you Shanky because that's your that's your nickname. It feels
Yes.
very odd to call you Shankar. I did that up top just to introduce you. But yeah, for the rest of the episode, it'll be Shanky.
Thank you.
So Shanky, we're talking about Karan Arjun from 1995, starring Shahrukh Khan, Salman Khan, Mamta Kulkarni, Kajol, Rakhi Gulzar, Amrish Puri, Asif Sheikh, like the biggies of that time. This film came out the same year as Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. It's a great comparison that one movie sort of set the tone for what Bollywood will be for the next 30 years, and this one sort of this kind of Bollywood film sort of faded out around the early 2000s. But guys, before I ask you about your memories of the film, I was thinking about this. Guys, do you not miss Punarjanam in Hindi films? I thought Punarjanam was such a great concept, the rebirth. And there used to be like at least half a dozen films in Bollywood and other Indian languages also, which dealt with Punarjanam. Even your
Yes.
Z horror show and you name it. Rebirth and Dusra Janam was like a big deal, and suddenly it seemed like somewhere in the mid 2000s we became very rational, and we were like, no, we're just going to stop believing in this thing. So just tell me about your Punarjanam feelings, guys. Shanki, starting with you.
Punarjanam. Yeah. Shank, you go first.
So, uh, so the biggest Punarjanam movie that I remember watching that left a mark on my brain was Cars, which
Right.
blew my mind away. And it was so emotional. I was all like, this is exactly what happened. I believe in it 100%. And I'm with you. Go take your revenge after coming back after taking a new life.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think the more India got internet accessible, they were like, I think we can't do reincarnation movies anymore because the people who believe in what we are saying, I think they are close to their time for reincarnation.
True.
So 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 I think that's why we don't have. But I agree with Abbas. I'm a big fan of just watching the plot lines come back. Even in regional movies, there's a Tamil movie called
Yeah,
Patas,
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
which is a great movie of reincarnation, and it gave me similar vibes of Cars. Of like, yes, I believe this exactly happened, and I'm with you, my friend.
सो
Nice.
पुनर्जन्म से लेके
Urjita?
एकता
Yeah.
कपूर ने ये कॉन्सेप्ट को जितना एक्सप्लॉइट किया है इन हर मूवीज इन हर डेली सोप्स इन हर वेब सीरीज इट्स लाइक उसको जैसे ही पुनर्जन्म के बारे में पता चला शी इज लाइक आई हैव अ करियर नाउ that's how her mind worked dude krishna cottage okay क्योंकि सास
Yeah,
भी कभी बहू थी कहानी घर घर की थी देन कयामत से नहीं नॉट कयामत से कयामत तक कयामत कयामत दैट वाज द नेम ऑफ द शो कसौटी जिंदगी की उसने इतना ज्यादा एक्सप्लोर किया इट ऑलमोस्ट फील्स लाइक यू नो हाउ समटाइम्स वी फील लाइक यू वांट टू डाई जस्ट फॉर द अटेंशन so she
Wait,
was
but
like you know
Kyuki Saas bhi kabhi bahu thi, in that Mihir came, like Mihir survived his death, right? Or was he reborn?
no meher punarjanam it was punarjanam
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
yeah
No, no, yeah. As far as
no,
I
Mihir,
remember, it was
Mihir.
like Mihir survived.
People thought, yeah, people thought Mihir was gone, and everybody was crying, and then he was like, "Surprise! I'm still alive."
so
I
that's
Yeah,
what
think,
he was rescued by Mandira Bedi, if I'm not wrong.
अच्छा सो ओके देन मे बी नॉट मीर बट क्योंकि सास भी कभी होती में किसी का तो पुनर्जन्म हुआ था आई रिमेम्बर
Of
दैट
course, yeah.
बिकॉज आई टेल यू
Possibly. Yeah, yeah,
एंड लाइक दिस होल लाइक कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पीपल कमिंग बैक फ्रॉम द डेड वो इतना ज्यादा पॉपुलर हो गया था कि अभी रिसेंटली लिटरली लाइक डे बिफोर यस्टरडे जो क्योंकि सास भी कभी होती में जो मॉम थी मिहिर की आई फॉरगॉट हर नेम but she is giving an interview and she's telling the audience कि basically वो टाइम पे इतना ज्यादा पॉपुलर हो गया था कि क्या हुआ था कि मिहिर को वो ओरिजिनली मारने ही वाले थे दे वर रेडी टू लेट हिम गो
yeah.
बट फिर इतने ज्यादा लेटर्स भेजे लोगों ने कि ब्रिंग हिम बैक दैट दे हैड टू ब्रिंग हिम बैक
Yeah.
the thing is
Mihir
like
and
it became
Sherlock
a
Holmes
recurring
are the
yeah so it
only
became a
two
recurring
fictional
theme
characters.
कि वो टाइम पे कैसा था कि ये सारे टीवी शोज इतने पॉपुलर हो रहे थे that these actors could not leave so
Correct.
उनको
Yeah.
किसी इंपॉर्टेंट मूवी में छोटा सा रोल मिल जाता so they it's like अब क्या करे अब छोड़ तो नहीं सकते उसके लिए सीरियल तो इसलिए उनके कैरेक्टर को टेम्पररीली मार देते थे so
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
became such a thing that after so she was telling a story about this one family in Mumbai कि उनके कोई तो दादी जी या दादी जी दे एक्सपायर हो गए एंड वो एक छोटा बच्चा था वो रो ही नहीं रहा था द चाइल्ड वाज लाफिंग एंड वाज कॉन्स्टेंटली लुकिंग एट द डोर दादी विल कम बैक so that is why they had to
Wow.
eventually
That
stop
got
doing
dark really fast.
I also wanted to check
But sure.
if, like, listening to Ujjata, like, do you think people do a pitch where they're all like, "Sir, let's kill this character and see if he's important enough for people to send letters
Oh,
to
I'm
see if."
sure. 100%. Yeah.
yeah man yeah that's what I would be very mad if nobody sent letters for me if I was an actor in such a show
At least for me, the Punarjanam thing aspect worked is because A, it gave you some sense of immortality. Is that as a kid you thought, oh, you never die, you're just reborn. And second thing, I think it somehow justifies deja vu. That we get this feeling, all of us have got this, oh, I think I've been here before, or this has
yeah
happened to me before. So in my head, I was like, हाँ मेरे पिछले जन्म में यहाँ जरूर कुछ ना कुछ. And all of us, you guys remember there used to be that reality show where they used to take you in your past life. They used to
राज पिछले
put you
जन्म
put
के
you to sleep. Yes, और हर कोई पिछले जन्म में राजा महाराजा ही था. I'm like, who were the servants and the working class people in the punar janams? There was no one. Urjita is pointing to herself.
मैंने वो there was this one app जो तुम्हें बताता था कि तुम्हारा शक्ल कौन से पुराने कैरेक्टर से मिलता जुलता है. मेरे डैड को पता है he was some मुगल emperor. My mom was also मुगल empress. Sister also some मुगल. मैं market slave. That was the
Is
title,
that
market slave.
is
And
that
the funny thing is कि वो जो slave था सच में मेरी शक्ल उससे मिलती जुलती थी. इतना हंस रहे थे मेरे घर वाले. उसके बाद मैंने कभी रिसर्च करने की कोशिश नहीं की. मैंने कहा नहीं, I don't want to accept my past.
For me, the sense of Punarjana movies made a lot of sense because it made revenge inevitable. That even if you die, you will come back, and that revenge
yeah.
is
Will be
added one
fulfilled.
leg. Beyond that, grave, gone to death and back, and then taking the revenges.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
and I kid you
makes-
not. Even today, when I'm filling my invoices, invariably, like my hands automatically turn like this. I don't know why.
I was about to say you were a market slave back then. Now we are all corporate slaves. Not much has
Yes.
changed. Okay, let's get to the movie. So, Karan Arjun, 1995. I remember I was 7 years old when this film came out. I remember watching this with my parents in the theater. It was a packed house. I think it was released on either Eid or Bakrid. I don't remember because it was a huge festival release, and it was houseful. The film became a hit within the first few days. Directed by Rakesh Roshan. Did you guys know Hrithik Roshan was an AD on this film? Like most of his father's films. He was the assistant director on this. First film which paired up Shahrukh and Salman. We also recently saw them in Pathan, and maybe we'll watch them in the future as well. But this was the first time we were watching both of them together. One of the few Shahrukh Kajol pairings where all of their films were super hits. What are your guys' first memories of watching this? Shankar, were you around? Were you a child when this movie came out?
Yes, I
What are your first
remember as a
memories?
child watching this movie, and I was just firstly, I was very, very impressed by Shah Rukh Khan beating up this huge bodyguard that comes with Kajol, and just as like the guy who steals Kajol's heart by just being this stable boy was very, very charming to me. The
Yeah,
fact
stable,
about
stable,
Punarjan,
not in the sense stable, not as in stable in his life. He's literally runs a stable with horses.
In
stable,
his life,
stable
he's
with
anything
horses.
but stable.
Astabal.
Yeah,
He was running
Astabal.
Astabal. So,
Yeah.
um,
Run by the Dinesh Hingurani, who played the Parsi in every 90s film.
ए
True.
ढीकरा तुम लड़की का जान बचाना मांगता है. ये ढीकरा क्या कर रहे हैं?
this is mostly with his hand shaking. He
This
was the
was
Parsi
in
uncle.
Badshah.
Yeah, in Bacha, he was all like, "तुम्हारे को पता नहीं है कि तुम्हारे मामा का ऑपरेशन करने के लिए मेरे को." So, I was thoroughly impressed by that, and
Yeah.
for me, there was so much. Like as a child, you've not formed your thoughts about how the world works. You're living in the world of fantasy, and watching both of them meet each other for the first time, and listening to them call out each other's names. I think those were the couple first memories that like have been with me to this date. I was just like, Salman has too much body. I can't become like him, but I think I can become a little charming like Shahrukh, and that's the best I can do. So that's what I resonated with.
Urjita, had you seen this film before?
So as a child, I had watched this movie, but then much later, not like when it was around.
Right. Yeah.
For
When
obvious
it was
reasons.
around, you were not around. Yeah.
I was not around.
Yeah.
So I remember watching it as a child. तो टीवी पे लगती थी, and even today अभी भी टीवी पे तुम जी सिनेमा कभी लगाओ, ये लग रही होती है करण अर्जुन every
Yes,
time.
yes.
So I remember loving it as a child. मुझे तो बहुत ही पसंद आई थी. I just like I couldn't. The thing is because तुम लोगों ने तभी वो मूवी देखी होगी जब भी शाहरुख खान और सलमान were not that big a deal, or were they? Were they that
No,
big
they
a deal
were
at that
because I mean they were already Shah Rukh had already done Dar and Anjam and all these films where he played negative roles, and then this was the year where Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge came out, right? So he was already like on the rise, And
अच्छा okay.
Salman, I'll get to Salman because this is a very interesting point in his career. But yeah, they were both pretty big even at that time.
अच्छा okay. Okay. But
Yeah.
even then, like for me, it was just so iconic कि oh fuck ये दोनों इतने amazing actors हैं और काजोल भी ये movie में ममता कुलकर्णी. I think this was the first movie of Mamta Kulkarni that I was watching, and I just like
Okay.
wondered कि she's a good actress, why didn't like she continue? But of course, let's not get into that. वो उनका अलग story होगा. But Mamta Kulkarni से related वो there are like 2-3 scenes in which पूरा मेकअप वेकअप कपड़े वपड़े पहन के ममता मैम आई है just to give looks. There are no dialogues.
Yeah.
Like in the jail sequence also, like वो ऐसे you can see like उसका वो as a cue उसको उनको रखा है ममता मैम को. यहाँ पे कैमरा है and you can only see Salman Khan. You can see her hair. That's it. Then Shahrukh Khan comes. क्या है हमारा रिश्ता, एंड ऑलमोस्ट लाइक रोमांटिक डायलॉग उनका चल रहा है कि क्या है हम दोनों का
Oh.
रिश्ता. लाइक वो which I was like कि if like you know if you remove this, अगर ये आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट ये डायलॉग सुनते तो ये काफी रोमांटिक लगते डायलॉग्स. हमारा क्या नाता है, ऐसी कौन सी डोर थी जो मुझे तुम्हारे पास खींच रही है. मैंने कहा ऑफ कोर्स ये कोई डोर मुझे
Listen.
खींचे तेरी डोर ले जाए ये शाम मस्तानी. कम ऑन सिंग द सॉन्ग ऑलरेडी.
So that's an interesting point because the song "Ye Bandhan to Pyar Ka Bandhan Hai." I know it's between a mother and two sons, but it's just walking that line of like if you take these lyrics out of context without the visuals of a mother and daughter, mother and her sons, this might just work as a love song. But let's not go there. So I wanted to talk about. So I think Chunky, you spoke about fantasy, right? So I was thinking
Yeah.
about this. Rakesh Roshan's films always had some element of like either fantasy or speculative fiction, if you want to call it that way. Because Karan Arjun was Punarjan. Koila had this thing where the guy's voice is gone because someone shoved coal down his throat. There's also and then there was Koi Mil Gaya where he literally bought an alien. And then I think by the time he got to Krish, he was doing like full on superhero. But I think even you see parts of this. One thing I really liked was that both Shahrukh and Salman, they get their hero entry when they are reborn. Like when this film starts, it just starts normally where Shahrukh and Salman are doing like I think they carry heavy stones and they work for the village guy.
Yeah.
So at that time they are just village boys. They are simple and all of that, but they get their hero entry like after they are reborn. Salman gets the cage fight wala entry, and Shahrukh gets the whole.
Yeah.
He's using his this thing. He's breaking bottles with the, what is it called? They use a term for this in
Catty.
the catty. He's breaking them with his catties. Um, but I have a take. Tell me if you guys agree with this. Is this more a Shah Rukh Khan film than a Salman Khan film? I feel like
Mm,
Salman almost is relegated to like a secondary hero status because it's Shah
no,
Rukh who
I
comes
feel
back to,
Salman. This
yeah.
the thing is, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel Salman Khan is not was not that good an actor to actually like be on the same level as Shah Rukh Khan or even Amir Khan for that matter in Andaz Apna Apna. Like even Andaz Apna
Hmm,
Apna for
hmm,
me, it is
hmm,
an out and out Amir Khan movie.
hmm,
Salman
hmm,
almost plays a second fiddle to him, almost. So,
hmm.
like, Amir Khan is getting all the funny dialogues. Amir Khan is like planning and plotting everything. And Salman is just like, Salman is basically like playing to his strengths. Like, Salman
Right,
वो खुद से कुछ decide नहीं कर रहा है. It's like आमिर ने ये किया, okay fine मैं ये करूँगा. It's always Amir
right.
who is the
Hmm,
initiator
hmm,
in everything, and that I think
hmm.
it might have got something to do with Salman's capabilities as an actor. I think that is why he
Okay.
stopped like playing doing two hero movies after a point. I think after that उसने सिर्फ अक्षय कुमार के साथ की मुझसे शादी करोगी, but that also because he
Yeah,
played the
yeah,
one
yeah,
hero.
yeah,
Govinda also a good partner.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But that was like
But
way after Govinda's. In fact, in Partner, interesting that you bring that up. In Partner, Govinda was supposed to play the supporting character even on paper, and उसका रोल एकदम ही घटिया था. तो Salman made David Dhawan increase his role, which just I don't know how that makes sense, but yeah,
Right.
this is true.
so, firstly, I think because it is reincarnation and the amount of emotions that are in that entire revenge nostalgia, wonder, and all of that. I think Shah Rukh has always
Yeah.
been like like performing that to the audience through his
Right.
eyes strongly,
Hmm.
and both of them on paper might have gotten like a equalish role to play,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
Salman generally filled all the emotion that he had with his muscles on screen. Even in the cage fight, he gets hit, he gets hit, he gets hit, and he gets to the point where he remembers. Imagine
The
you're in a
past.
fight and
Yeah. Yeah.
someone beats the punar janam out of you. Like he's been like this happened before, and he loses his mind and becomes a beast. And he convinced people that yes, I've gotten weight enough and I can come back. And but Shahrukh is just emotionally in, like when he's sleeping and he gets these nightmares, that became much more stronger for Shahrukh than for Salman, because I think generally because of the fight. So
I agree. So there's a scene, I think towards the middle of the film where they both have returned to the village. So
Hmm.
Karan basically goes and brings, no, sorry, Shahrukh is Arjun, right?
Arjun
Yeah,
Arjun
Arjun
brings
goes and
Karan.
literally brings Karan with him, and there's a scene where he's telling Karan कि तुम्हें याद है हम यहाँ काम किया करते थे, हम इसी गांव के हैं, and this was our mother. And dude, the thing is, I was looking at that scene, and Shah Rukh Khan is selling the hell out of that. Like he's telling him an absurd story of a previous birth, and then we were killed by the Thakur, and now we have come back to avenge our mother. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is such a bizarre line of dialogue to read out, but he's selling the shit out of it, and I'm also believing in him. I'm like, huh, Salman, why can't you see? Yeah, he wants you to fight alongside him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. I wanted to
And
get to
Salman,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I just wanted to talk a little more about Salman's character. Like, this was my
Yes.
observation, right, about Salman. Two observation. One, Salman looks like the kind of guy who doesn't ask any follow-up questions. Like, he doesn't, it's either yes or no for him. उसको या
Yeah.
तो अगर उसको कुछ शेडी लगा भी तो वो सवाल नहीं पूछेगा. एंड शाहरुख लुक्स लाइक द काइंड ऑफ गाय जो भिंडी लेने से पहले भी 50 सवाल पूछेगा कि अच्छा ये भिंडी ये हरे रंग की, पीले रंग की क्यों नहीं, लाल रंग की क्यों नहीं, हाँ क्या इरादा है आज भिंडी के साथ वांगे की सब्जी बना. He will just say wacky shit. But Salman is like, and
Yeah.
also like considering Salman's background also in the second janam, uske he only had his dad. His mom had passed
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
while giving birth to him, and his dad was never
Yeah.
present. Dad was an alcoholic.
Hmm.
Bachpan se Salman had to fend for himself and his dad. So, given his
Hmm.
background, that character makes sense for him. But also, like, I have a
Hmm.
question for you guys. So,
Yeah.
we have seen enough movies, enough old movies जिसमें जो lead है, okay,
Hmm.
that lead is not really around anymore, like in Bollywood. और जो supporting character है, maybe वो जाके बड़ा होके थोड़ा अच्छा actor बन गया, like सलमान और शाहरुख. So I don't want to take any names, like, but there are so many actors
No,
जिनके
no,
साथ
take
ऐसा होता है,
names.
like Monish Bell, Rahul Roy, and there
Monish
are
Bell. Okay. Huh.
Deepak Tijori also. Like, we know Deepak Tijori because हम दिमाग में बहुत जगह है तो हमने ये सब देख लिया है. But there are so many
Hmm.
kids who don't know about Deepak Tijori. Like, if they watch a Deepak Tijori movie, they will think that, okay, who's this guy? You know, he's a good actor. इसके
Right.
साथ आगे कुछ क्यों नहीं हुआ? And sometimes these
Hmm.
leads, they are also so forgettable that you are like, हाँ ठीक है, so what? The point that I'm trying to make is that we know Salman only because now he's this big actor, बहुत ही ज्यादा famous है, superstar है, ये वो है. अगर सलमान superstar नहीं बनता ना, तो Abbas, I think your point would have made sense कि this was an out and out Shahrukh Khan movie. Like, people would have thought that this is not
So
like a hero movie.
okay.
I'm just saying,
So
hindsight.
I wanted to talk about Salman's career at this point. So Salman arrives on the scene with romantic films like Maine Pyar Kiya. Okay, he was again he was launched as a lead, but I think he was always obsessed with bodybuilding and action. So then in the early 90s, he does these action films. There are a bunch of them. Like I can't remember. There is one where which was a mashup of Conan the Barbarian and Tom Hanks's Big, which is, do you remember, Shanki, the name of this film? He
I
had a
don't.
mullet and all of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember the name
If
particularly, but
someone in the comments will definitely remind us of this. But yeah, it's like he's a kid, but then he grows up, and then when he grows up, he literally wears the costume, Arnold's costume from Conan the Barbarian, and then he fights the bad guys. So he had these uh, series of action films that he did, which did not work. That was broken by Hum Aapke Hain Kaun. So then Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, again he's back as a romantic lead. Then in between he has Karan Arjun. I think Karan Arjun is again the first time, not the first time, but again the entry that he's given, the role that he's given of a fighter. Again, it's similar to what he does now, right? Bodybuilder. He's this brooding,
Yeah.
cold-faced guy who's doing all that. Then, if you remember, in the late 90s, he did a series of drama films like Phir Milenge and uh, Pyar Kiya To Darna Kya and all of that. Then I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
then he had this weird phase in the early 2000s, and then Ready onwards. I think then now he's settled into the image that he has now, where you can Ready, Bajrangi Bhaijaan,
Bajrang
Sultan.
Bhaijaan was quite
Tiger.
emotional.
They're all great, but I'm saying in all of them, he's playing the alpha male bodybuilder
Hmm.
action hero who's going to beat up the bad guys. Like he settled into that. So I think yeah, he's had this weird trajectory where I don't think I can't think of any time in my life where Salman was not a star. He was always like a big name, and he also has comedy timing, because even in Andaz Apna Apna, you need someone to like you said, he's playing to Amir's strength, but he's playing it so well. Shanky,
Hmm.
what's your take on
Yeah.
Salman Khan now that we've gone into this
So,
little digression?
so I agree with you. I wanted to tie 2 points together about how you
Yeah.
said this is a Shah Rukh Khan film more than a Salman Khan
Mm,
film. I
mm,
think
mm.
the fact that Shah Rukh sees it first and he convinces Salman is a
हाँ.
very pivotal part of the movie, which bridges the
Right.
first and the second together. And
Mm,
because
mm.
Shah Rukh does it so well, people are more in tune with his version of the story. So it kind of is like he's telling the story to us and to Salman, and all
Correct.
of us eventually buy in and go further. So
Yeah.
I think, adding to what Urjita said about both of them being the kind of guys who either ask questions or don't,
Mm.
I think also the point that you said about Salman being always the alpha male.
Yeah.
Uh, when both of them were in this movie, it kind of looked like when someone is telling a story, Shah Rukh will empathize, sit down, maybe shed a tear, and have a chai with him, and then go. And Salman will be like, "Forget all that. Let's go. We have to continue with life. What is the big deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
सबके साथ होता है. ये सब
Yeah.
Yeah.
आके आंसू पोंछ दो. चलो. That's the kind of guy that
Yeah.
Salman
Salman
might
Yeah.
is.
ask the
Yeah.
person कि अच्छा ये sad story ठीक है, but आपको मुझसे क्या चाहिए? मैं आपकी क्या मदद करूँ? Like
Correct.
he'll help
Exactly.
the
What's in it
character
for
out,
me?
but he'll be like shut the crap, मुझे रोना नहीं है. He's just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so more vulnerable always on screen has been Shah Rukh uh, in like comparison. Uh,
Right. Correct.
Salman has always had that presence, the larger than life presence on screen.
Yeah.
I think Shah Rukh with sheer determination has equaled or surpassed that larger than life. Because when Salman
Correct.
comes on screen, everybody's like, this guy is the center of this
Yeah.
entire scene. He's the focus. Shah
Yeah.
Rukh,
Yeah.
without taking the focus in front of everybody, just by being
Mm.
vulnerable, people
Mm.
want to give focus to him. So I think that's the pivotal change that happened. And I think there is this eternal fight that's been going on in Salman's head, where you said every time he's done movies where he's homely and like Maine Pyar Kiya, he's a very nice guy who loves a girl, and he like. There's also one movie that I forgot where he goes as like a rich guy goes to earn money for this. Is that Maine Pyar Kiya only? Where he stays at a stable and earns money
That
and
is प्यार किया तो डरना क्या? No, what is that movie?
no,
जब
प्यार
प्यार
की
किया
होगी
तो
जीत.
डरना क्या?
No, no, it
Who
wasn't. It
was
wasn't
who
that.
was the? Do you remember the female lead of that movie?
Kajol
Yeah,
only, no, he stays at the
not
stable.
Kajol, not Kajol, not Kajol.
Then
The girl who was in Maine Pyar Kiya,
भाग्यश्री.
Bhagyashree.
Bhagyashri. He,
How many films have they done together, bro? Is it Hogi Pyar Ki Jeet? I don't know.
I think it's Hogi Pyar Ki Jeet.
Wait, let's just
So
confirm this.
I just googled. There are only two Bhagyashree and Salman Khan movies. One is मैंने प्यार किया and
हाँ.
another one is किसी का भाई किसी की जान. So
No, I think it's a different. It's a different. Just no. I'm sorry. Uh, um,
What was the point you're getting at? You can patch it from there.
I
Then
was, I was, sorry,
no,
I got
sorry.
lost.
Hogi
Sorry.
Pyar Ki Jeet had Ajay Devgan, not Salman Khan.
It's a movie.
Uh,
Salman Khan did a movie where he's a rich guy, but in order to prove to the girl's father that he is worthy, he works in a
yeah.
stable and earns like an amount to show
Hmm.
that he's
You're
capable.
describing
This is
you're describing the plot of every 90s romantic drama.
That is मैंने प्यार किया, no? मैंने प्यार
oh,
किया
I
and also
think
that Kajol
It's
movie.
been मैंने प्यार किया. Yeah, yeah.
so.
मैंने
Yeah,
प्यार किया had
So
Bhagyashree, not Kajol.
yeah.
So Salman has
Yeah.
constantly had this battle where he's threaded this line where
Hmm.
the responsible, good child at home, as a guy, he plays that to the best sincerity, even in um, what is that
No entry.
ABCDEFG movie? Not No Entry. The
हम साथ साथ
Hum
हैं.
Saath Saath.
हम साथ साथ,
Even
yeah,
in
yeah.
Hmm.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Salman's character is painted like this good child who listens
Earnest.
to
Yeah,
his
yeah,
nothing wrong ever. So every time when he's done a movie with family, he's the best version of that family. And every time
yeah.
he's done
Okay.
a movie as an alpha, he's like the most alpha that ever
Yeah.
was.
In
Correct.
So
Yeah.
with
हम
each
साथ
movie,
साथ है also like Salman bhai के इतने कम expressions है that the background music is expressing on behalf of Salman. Like if Salman is happy, they would play. If he said, like his background music is emoting more than his face. That was
But
just
but when
mind.
but when he wants to emote, he can. Like in Hello Brother and Judwa, I think he's just on 11. Like when he wants to make you laugh and make you believe something, then he can totally do that. Okay, we have to take a quick short break at this point. When we come back, we'll get into some other aspects of Karan Arjun, and we'll get behind all the memes that this film has generated. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Hi, this is Cyrus Rogan Brocha, pyar se Rogues. I've come up with a brand new idea. It's a premium product called Club Cyrus Says. It's an offer open just for you. Let me tell you about the product. We've got exclusive Cock and Bull episodes just for you. That's right, just for you. That means others don't get to see it. Also, you get exclusive footage, extra bits, the uncut version of the interviews with celebrities. And these are huge celebrities, not small-time celebrities. Only the big guys come on the show. So you'll get the exclusive bits that nobody else gets. The extra tidbits, special stuff, uncensored stuff you don't want to put out. That's just for you. And for our audio listeners, you get special ad-free content and early access to interviews and sessions and podcasts which nobody else will get. You'll get it first. You're the first people. You're Neil Armstrong. You're Edmund Hillary. You're whoever discovered India. You're that. And by becoming an exclusive member of Club Cyrus Says, you get the power. We transfer the power to you and you become the producers and you will decide what content or what happens on that show. You are the masters and we can't use words like that. People who work for the masters, basically. So guys, get in. Special audio features include, I forget. I can't remember what the
And we're back on Hazard Age with Urjita and Shanki. So before we went into the break, we were talking about Salman. I realized we did not do a plot recap for this movie. I'll
Yeah,
very quickly do
we
the
just got so
plot.
obsessed with Salman. Yeah.
So the movie, the prologue of this movie is set in a town in Rajasthan. They tell us the name of the town. I forgot what it is. It's something with M. हमको please comment में correct कर दो. There are two young men called Karan and Arjun. They work at a stone carrying sort of company नहीं
Quarry.
बोलेंगे क्या बोलेंगे they work, quarry. They work at a quarry. Thank you, Shanki. And they have a mother who is very loving towards them. And we are first told that their father has gone to the sheher and will one day come back and adopt them. But Karan Arjun are like, bro, this guy has left us and never come back. I don't think he's coming back. Karan and Arjun bring a lot of gifts for their mother, one of them being a pair of chudis that they bring her and they sing songs and everything. And then we are introduced in what I think is one of the best villain introduction scenes of all time to Amrish Puri, who's singing the song Hey Ma Kali in his own voice. And it is such a freaking डरावना entry that मेरी घर पे बैठे बैठे फट गया. I was like, yeah, that's a villain. and he's a Thakur of the village. And it turns out, then it is revealed that he was actually the brother of Karan Arjun's father, who married a woman who was lower in status than them, which is why they were banished from their house. And then Amrish Puri killed his brother. So essentially,
cousin though, not
is it
not the
cousin?
not
Okay,
the actual Singh. Yeah, yeah, because I checked it
okay.
again. That this is the plot. Ki
Hmm.
Thakur Gujjar Singh. Okay, he has one son. Okay, that is Karan
हाँ,
Arjun's father. तो करण अर्जुन वो बड़ी बहुत ही बड़ी हवेली है उसकी, बहुत ही बड़ा, इज द बिगेस्ट मैन
yeah,
इन द
yeah, yeah,
विलेज,
yeah,
ठाकुर
yeah.
गुज्जर सिंह, and not Gujjar
Hmm.
Singh, Thakur. So then Karan Arjun's
Hmm.
father marries Rakhi, who is from a lower caste, and that's why
Hmm.
this guy not a lower caste actually. उसने मुझ
They
गरीब से
don't
शादी
spell
की.
it out. Yeah, they don't spell it out, but that's what the
Yeah.
implication is. Yeah,
So maybe
yeah, yeah.
we have to assume that she's from a lower caste. So then
Hmm.
वो उसने राखी से शादी की. That is why भतीजा, which is अमरीश पुरी गुज्जर सिंह, वो इसको पॉइजन करता है कि तुम इसको निकाल दो. ये कौन सा भतीजा है जिसमें इतनी पावर है कि वो इसको
Listen, there
निकालने
that's
बोल
a
रहा है?
that's a separate Ekta Kapoor serial going. That's the backstory of Karan Arjun. Like Karan Arjun does
Yeah,
not even like that's the least of their problems.
yeah.
But he plays Thakur Durjan Singh, which again has become very famous because Rakhi Gulzar in this film, I think she was given one note. Rakesh Roshan was like, "You've got to just make the people believe that Karan Arjun will come back," and Rakhi Gulzar was like, "Challenge accepted." So the two things she does in this film is keep saying "Mere Karan Arjun aayenge," which has become a beloved meme all through the internet, Indian internet. And the other is this whole thing whenever she says Thakur Durjan Singh, like you believe that this woman wants this guy dead.
ठाकुर
Like
गुज्जर
mere
सिंह.
Thakur Durjan Singh, a great villain name. But it is revealed that he killed Raki's husband, and then he also kills his own father, right? The old guy who he
Not his
literally.
own, his uncle. Technically, he's his
His
uncle.
uncle. Okay. So
हाँ.
within the first 20 minutes, Amrish Puri has already killed two people. I was like, amazing. This is how you set a villain up. And then he goes after Karan Arjun, kills them in cold blood. They chase him with horses and everything. And then they are given a rebirth. So this is one of the other things that I noticed. The title card comes after 22 minutes, which is very
Hmm.
odd for a Hindi film because there's a whole subplot that happens, not a subplot, the whole prologue that happens before it comes.
Yes.
Then we are shown that Karan and Arjun have been reborn as Ajay and Vijay. Shahrukh is this flirtatious guy who has Kajol, and Salman is this fighter, cage match fighter called Ajay. No, he's Ajay, and Shahrukh is Vijay. Basically, Ajay and Vijay have to get back to their gaon, and they have to take revenge from Thakur Durjan Singh. And along the way, there are a lot of side characters played by Johnny Lever, Ashok Saraf, Mamta Kulkarni, Kajol. Okay, guys, I have to ask you guys about the song, the chemistry between Shahrukh and Kajol. Kajol, by the way, does not have much to do in this film. Kajol said that she's pretty much absent throughout the whole second half of the film. She said that she did this film for vanity. She just had to look good and do nothing. These are her quotes. And the song "Jati Hu Main Jaldi Hai Kya" is a sexy fucking song. What did you guys think? I think the few scenes that these two have, they really make it sizzle.
Yeah, yeah. For some reason, that song and Kajol's character doesn't make any sense to me. That how is it that in the like उसके काजोल के मूवी के फर्स्ट हाफ में वो एकदम ही मतलब छोटे कपड़े पहन रही है, घुड़सवारी सीखने जा रही है, एंड देन द मोमेंट उसका पति आता है सीन में, एज इन होने वाला पति, हर डैड
Yeah,
सडनली
to be a
बिकम्स दिस
husband.
इविल गाय हु इज लाइक कि मैं तुझे जबरदस्ती रूम में बंद करके रखूंगा, ये वो. मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि how like she has two different dads, it seems, because like the first half it doesn't like go in line with the second half of Kajol.
So her dad is played by Ranjit, who's like one of those evergreen Bollywood villains of the 70s. So I
Yeah.
just assumed that at some point he's going to turn. There is also that beautiful line towards the end where Thakur Durjan Singh says Ranjit, "हम तो समझते थे हम कमीने हैं, पर तुमने अपना कमीनापन दिखा के." बहुत like you out kaminad us. That was great. Shanki, what did you think of Kajol, and what do you think of Shahrukh and Kajol in general?
Shah Rukh and Kajol in general really always take the focus and deliver on point. I
Yeah.
just once you get hooked on to the story,
Hmm.
the fact that you saw Kajol doesn't really like come to you. you want to discover whether these people will actually get their revenge or not. I
Yeah.
think maybe for like well aging, if they would have showed a couple conversations of like Kajol just being in disbelief, like, yo, I just wanted to like marry one normal guy. You come back here, you're taking revenge from like your previous life. Did you have a girlfriend
Yeah.
back then? Do you remember when you were in love? None of that happened. She was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill your 80 years ago? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll put in a record that that's the oldest revenge my man has taken in my district.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was the only thing. But because this is 90s Bollywood,
Hmm.
it wasn't really a place where people gave too much thought about how real can it get.
Hmm.
So did I miss Kajol throughout the movie? Not really. I bought into the thing that okay, these two guys have come to take revenge, and the two women who are in love with them, they're like, this is the mother. Let's
Sure.
all
Yeah.
please take care of her with like one morning welcome dance we will do,
Yeah.
and we will take care of her health. She's been
Yeah.
Yeah,
suffering for so long.
I also have
Yeah.
another doubt. So in the song "Ye Bandhan To Pyar Ka Bandhan Hai," Alka Yagnik is doing the playback for Rakhi Gulzar. Okay, then in "Jati
Huh.
Hu Main Jaldi Hai Kya," Alka Yagnik is also doing the playback for Kajol. Okay, so didn't Shahrukh Khan feel like, hey, wait, this your voice is reminding me of someone? I think I had a mother once upon a time whose voice was very similar to yours. Why did that not happen? Just because Alka Yagnik was the only singer available.
there were, I think in the list of priorities, ये थोड़ा bottom पे
Yeah.
होगा. Things that they should have noticed. But
I
like
like the fact. Yeah, go ahead, Urjita.
I was saying that that's a very interesting point that you bring up कि like जो माँ का आवाज है वो बेटी का आवाज है ऐसा. I don't remember like playback singing was treated as a part of the movie, like as a part
That's
of the
true. Yeah.
story. I don't
Yeah.
think like any Bollywood movie has used it. Like the max they will do is लगान में जो मतलब मम्मी है उसका आवाज लता मंगेशकर का और जो गौरी है वो किसी और का.
Huh.
That's the
That's
max
what
they will
I
do.
was. I was surprised in this movie they gave Lata Mangeshkar's playback to Mamta Kulkarni and they gave Alka Yagnik's playback to Rakhi Gulzar. I was like, okay, maybe you wanted to keep Lata ji ever young, evergreen.
Yeah.
Where I don't know. I like the fact that the flashbacks that they get about their past life is like in negative. Like they don't actually have a flashback, but there's a little bit of that. I thought that was a little unique that you see it but you don't see it, kind of.
That was very Kodak
Um,
photograph of them.
yeah, yeah. I have to talk about the background score, guys. So I want the same kind of audacity that Rajesh Roshan has in this film, because Rajesh Roshan has used the background score of three of the most iconic films from that time, and he's literally copy pasted them. One is the Terminator. Okay, does not change the theme. The Terminator theme is like in the movie, like 80% of the movie. There was a very famous film in the 90s called The Last of the Mohicans. In the emotional scenes, he has copy pasted that. And then whenever Thakur Durjan Singh came in the early scenes, he has taken the theme from Jaws, the shark movie, and put it as the theme for Thakur Durjan Singh. Okay. So I was like, dude, Rajesh Roshan had no fucks to give. And then I realized this is the guy who actually who copied the Barbie song, the I'm a Barbie
हमने
girl.
जो
He
कहा
made.
मैंने
Yeah.
जो सुना कैसे आओ बाल से लाओ.
I was like, wow, this guy gives zero fucks. Um, I also want to talk about in the song, after the song
So
"Jati
no,
Hu
no,
Main
I
Jaldi
have
Hai
to
Kya."
talk about
हाँ,
Rajesh Roshan only. So
yeah,
वो जो
yeah,
गाना है तो राजेश रोशन ने इतनी जगह से कॉपी करके यहाँ पे डाला है, ठीक है. And
yeah.
my problem is that कि कैसा है ना कि it's we always, why do we look down upon all these music directors who copied things from Hollywood? It was
Hmm.
their way of ensuring that अगर हम कहीं परदेश में जाए तो उधर अगर कोई ऐसा कोई गाना लगाए, we should not feel alienated क्योंकि वहां पे वो
That's true.
चला रहे हैं. It's the final countdown. We're like Yeah, maybe because in my head I used to think that maybe this song is a translation of that song. ये
Of
यही
course.
तो सबटाइटल हिंदी सबटाइटल है. मैं सोचती नहीं थी अलग गाने हैं. No, it's just so that we don't feel alienated. और ये लोगों ने इतना किया है हम लोगों के लिए, so that it's a subtle layer, and still why do we look down? Copy, plagiarism बुला देते हैं. ऐसा थोड़ी ना है. ऐसा
Oh,
थोड़ी ना.
Urjita is going full. Like for a second, it felt like we are attacking one of Urjita's relatives.
Yeah.
She's gotten so defensive. I think there's one further layer to add to what you just said. I think whenever
Yeah.
someone from India copies very blatantly, I think what they think in their head is this is good. Our Indian people don't know about it. So if
Yeah.
we become the Zaria to bring it to them, they will be exposed to something that is already great. So very rarely do people like change whatever they are trying to get inspired from for the Indian subtext. They just think that if we do that in Indian setting, it will be done. There will be no
Yeah.
much thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I don't agree with Urjita's point about us going abroad and feeling left out. I think we always overpower and being all like your music is trash. Have you heard what we have to offer? So that's generally our vibe. But it's interesting that you picked out the three uh, collaborations that Rajesh Roshan did in his head
Yeah.
with the different
Collaborations.
movies
Yeah.
as uh,
Yeah.
it's such a subtext collaboration that people don't even know that this has
Exactly. Yeah.
happened.
So in the Terminator, they're using that theme whenever like Arnold Schwarzenegger comes like on the scene or he's about to shoot someone or something. Dude, Rajesh Roshan is using it while Salman is like pacing in the jail. For him, is like Terminator music hoga tere liye. Mere liye, this is just like background score. Uh, I thought that was interesting. A couple of things that I don't think have aged well. So, Urjita, we spoke about in the Humtum episode how Saif forcibly kisses Rani. This film came out in 2004. 9 years before that, in 1995, Shahrukh does the same thing to Kajol while teaching her how to shoot the catty, and then her
Yeah.
bodyguard comes. This film also has the whole thing of another thing we have talked about in the Mehuna episode, where the tomboy has to become a girl in order to impress the guy. Where Mamta Kulkarni has this scene which is very problematic, where she basically takes her shirt off, looks at herself in the jail. I remember that Urjita
ये
is
not just this.
recreating that scene with clothes. Yeah, she has to look twice uh, uh, in the frame. I don't remember much of what the reaction was for this, but in the theater, when that scene came, everybody was marrowing CTs and hooting at the screen. So that happened. Um,
Because they had
the
shown
whole
her back, her bare back for
yeah,
no
yeah.
reason. There was no reason.
The reason was to get men into the theaters, and he did that. She
I
Mamta
think how
Kulkarni
Urjita is
uses.
like, no. But Urjita, you would agree that there was a good time in Indian cinema that still continues to this day, where item songs are there just because they are there. There is no purpose to them, but they're
Yeah,
there.
This song also
That
has one.
is,
The
yeah.
yeah,
So
Chhat Pe Soya Tha Behnoi. That song is an item song.
it's 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 the Desi item song that you
Yeah,
listen to next to a
it's
bonfire,
it's incest porn, but in poetry.
right?
uh,
All right.
Also, Amrish Puri's reaction in that song, the Chhat Pe Soya Tha Behnoi. Again, he's putting in all his what do you call, like all his ऐसा हैवानियत
अमरीशी
पूरी ऐसे
पूरी
उसकी शक्ल पे अमरीश
ऐसे
अमरीश
अमरीश पूरी
पुरीनेस.
sitting like that.
Yeah,
He's
exactly like
putting
that.
Amrish Pura in the song.
he he is this close to just going like this.
So Durjan Singh has two sidekicks in this movie. One is called Nahar Singh, and the other is called Shamsher Singh. Okay, so the guy who plays Nahar Singh, his name is Feroz Khan in real life, but he also played Arjun in Mahabharat. Okay, the TV show, and he got so famous doing that, and because there was already an actor called Feroz Khan, this actor Feroz Khan actually officially changed his name to Arjun for the film industry. So the guy playing the villain, his real name was Arjun because he played Arjun in Mahabharata. I thought there was just something weird going on there in a movie called Karan Arjun, where
Yeah, his
Shahrukh is
sons, no, Amrish Puri's sons. They are supposed to be his sons, right? Not
yeah.
sidekicks.
Are they sons? Because I think their
Yeah,
son
yeah,
is
because
Asif Sheikh, who's supposed.
No,
no, because
don't they call him
Kajol,
Mama throughout the movie?
I think they are his
Mama.
cousins from what I understand because his son is Asif Sheikh who is about to marry Kajol. The relationship, the family tree in this movie is very weird. I also tried to understand it, but then I
What
gave
a
up after
joke.
yeah, for a couple after a couple of tries. I think so. I personally was really invested in like the first 45-50 minutes of the film. I think there's a middle section of this film which gets a little boring because the action sequences just kept getting repetitive. Okay, tell me, like on the whole, what did you guys feel while watching this film? I will get to the rating and all of that at the end. But did you guys feel like did the film got a little repetitive, or were you like on board throughout?
so can I go first? Can I go first?
Yeah,
I just had
yeah.
one point. My
Hmm.
thing is that this movie is just filled with expositions. Like
Hmm.
I also had an example written down. It's like if you have to, it's this movie is a masterclass in letting people know that you know how to let every escalation turn into an exposition. Like वो दोनों जब भी call पे है, काजोल का dad and Amrish Puri. So how to
Yeah.
establish the connection over here? Like very smart movie technique. हम दोस्त है, कौन दोस्त फोन पे बोलता है हम दोस्त है? When was the last time है? Nobody हम दोस्त है, पर अब तो रिश्तेदार बनने वाले हैं. Nasti. They could have just stopped right there and we would have understood that of course काजोल का शादी उसके अमरीश पुरी के बेटे से होगा. But no, they had to go one step ahead and say अरे रिश्तेदार मतलब समझे ना, आपका जो बेटा सूरज है जो विदेश में पढ़ रहा है वो मेरी बेटी काजोल जो कि अजय देवगन की वाइफ भी है, K3G में उसने एक रोल भी प्ले किया है, उससे उसकी शादी होने वाली है, समझे ना? इट ऑलमोस्ट फील्स लाइक यू नो वन ऑफ दोस मूवीज वेयर द फोन पे जो है वो इंसान उसको किसी और को इन्फॉर्मेशन देनी इसलिए वो जोर जोर से बोल रहा है, एंड दैट पर्सन इज अस.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
many expositions. That is the one thing that I noticed in the movie.
But
And
like as Urjita pointed out, I think the majority of 90 movies could be put under one umbrella called spoon feeding, which
yeah,
is just throughout where they're all like, मैं घर का बाप हूँ और ये मेरी बीवी है, हम रोज झगड़ा करते हैं, पर अभी मेरे पास पैसा है. That's the whole
Yeah. Yeah,
whole
even
thing that they
even
keep
even Salman's drunkard this thing father is also like के
father.
आते साथ तो माँ को ले गया था, अब मुझे भी मरने देगा or something like that. So yeah, it has to be. And
It's
Arjun Shahrukh Khan is like to the stable guy, he's like के माँ बाप के जाने के बाद आप ही ने तो मुझे बड़ा किया है. Like who
and
says
also
that to their foster parents?
very conveniently they have gotten rid of Salman and Shahrukh's current parents. Very conveniently, क्योंकि
Yeah,
conflict
yeah,
of
yeah,
interest हो जाता ना, अगर राखी भी
yeah.
होती इनके old parents भी होते, very conveniently they have gotten rid of them.
I think this all of this like is valid, is accurate descriptions, but if you imagine the India that was there when this movie came out,
Mhm.
we were a couple notches behind to what where we are right now.
Right,
So
right.
I could imagine the directors being all like, सर छोटे छोटे शहरों में लोग देखेंगे तो उनको पता नहीं चलेगा सर, थोड़ा एक
हाँ.
एक सीन दिखाते हैं जहाँ पे औरत अपना अपने आप को whatever. I can't go any further with that statement, but there is, you can imagine every single point they've tried to max out, like you know when you try and temper with the bass and the treble, they're all like सर सब मैक्सिमम पे डाल दो, ऊपर वाले का नाम लेके बना देते हैं सर मूवी. That's how I feel
पर
they
देखना
That's
तो
go
सब
right.
by.
अपना फैमिली के साथ आते हैं, बच्चा अगर रो दिया, उनका अटेंशन मिस हो गया तो क्या करेंगे ना, तो इसलिए 6 बार रिपीट करते हैं. हाउ विल यू मिस इट? लाइक देयर
हाँ.
आई डेयर यू वॉच करण जोहर क्या बोल रही, करण अर्जुन, you watch Karan Arjun with all the distractions you need, and उसके बाद भी अगर तुमको मूवी समझ में नहीं आ रही है तो मतलब तुम सच में डम हो. There is no
Yeah.
fucking way that is, that's the beauty of all these movies, right? तुम टीवी पे तुमने क्यों देखी है ये मूवीज? क्योंकि कभी भी चालू होते थे फिर भी तुमको पूरा स्टोरी याद है. You have not seen, nobody that I have met has seen any of these old movies from the start. ऐसा अगर इंसेप्शन देखोगे बीच में से कहीं पे समझ में आएगा नहीं. वो
That's what
क्योंकि
I was
तुम्हारे
going to get to
फीलिंग्स
that.
के बारे में नहीं सोचता है, तुम्हारे फैमिली के बारे में नहीं सोचता है, ये सोचता है.
I think I don't mean any disrespect, but I think how every director is challenging the limits of what they can show on a frame. It keeps getting
Yeah.
further and further, and people discuss whether they can understand Interstellar and Inception in the first watch. I think for all this calculation, you need a zero to begin with. So you have a bunch of movies where they're all like you understood, and you'll be like, of course, we understood it 16 minutes ago. We are just
Yeah.
now listening to see how further you can go to continue saying what you're saying. So that's probably the
No,
reason
but
why they
I was actually on board for like the first 45-50 minutes totally, was because like you mentioned, Chunky, everything is turned up to 11, right? Rakesh Roshan was like, you want stakes, I'm gonna give you the fucking highest stakes of all time. Okay, so Raki literally has to go in front of the goddess and cry and bang her head in front of the god, the idol, to be like, I want my kids to come back. And then they do, and she just feels that they are back. Okay.
Yeah.
And
First of all, very
so like,
unreasonable demand. Very unreasonable demand.
yeah,
I think the success of Karan Arjun has benefited Bobby Deol the most in Indian cinema.
how?
Soldier's entire mother story is
Yeah.
both Karan Arjun put into one and remove the punar janam. He's like, I will come back, and Raki's like waiting for her son, and he comes back, and everybody's like, yes, this is exactly how it happened. And if you were to be like, three of them are related, and Raki is still the mother of two and adopted one, people would buy Soldier and Karan Arjun to be like a universe in itself.
That's true.
Oh.
So here's an interesting thing I came across. Ram Lakhan, Karan Arjun, Shyam Ghanshyam are three films where Raki played the mother to brothers, to two sons, and Amrish Puri is the villain. All these three films, and now we can add Soldier to that list where she's. Well, Amrish Puri is not the villain. Danny is.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much the same. Anything else you guys want to add? Like so in general, I was getting at the fact that the stakes were so the stakes are so high ke, like not only are these two boys orphaned, their father was killed by Durjan Singh, and then just
Yeah.
to drive the point home, he's going to show Durjan Singh kill the head of the family also. And if that wasn't enough, I'm going to show him killing the two boys themselves in front of their mother. And then if that's not enough, he's going to show how Durjan Singh and his sidekicks have been harassing the mother, and the mother has been going to the pandit. And then the Punarjanam wala lives also he set up this way, where
Yeah. And all
even
of
in
this
that,
just for that blank
even in
property. That's it.
yeah, even in the Punarjanam, Salman's father needs 10,000 rupees, so now he has to lose a fight, but he can't lose a fight because his previous life ka memories are coming back. So I thought first half mein the stakes were set up so well, and then it just becomes one action scene after the other. I'm like, just get back to the village and just take revenge and get it over with. I have to say the song Jai Ma Kali is a banger. I think
Yes.
I don't know why we've stopped making religious songs that were bangers. It's a great song. Anything else you guys want to add about Karan Arjun that I did not cover? Please go ahead.
I
Uh,
think overall, although I agree with you, in the middle, it doesn't really hold your attention as much as the first half.
It
But
loses steam a little bit.
I think for me, there was enough, uh, you know, stored energy of the setup for me to patiently wait to see how they take revenge. And I was like, that validation kind of happened pretty strongly. I really enjoyed like how this movie ended. And back then, things were so simple that you didn't really think much.
True,
Now
yeah.
when I go back,
Yeah.
I can still find out a couple of loopholes here and there. But sometimes
Mhm.
I'm just like, you know what? This new age is now. So can you please keep quiet? Let's go back and remember how much fun it was to just watch and be like, great, good. Shahrukh, yes, come on,
Yeah, yeah.
Shahrukh, come on.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to talk a little about these Bollywood villains. First of all, they are so thoughtful about the audience because it's like पहले के movies में अभी अभी तुम जो भी movies देखोगे like Joker देख लो कोई भी जिसमें villain oriented movies, so now we're supposed to feel sorry for the villain also because apparently the villain
Yeah.
has this backstory, so we are supposed to feel
Yeah.
empathetic for him. That's what I hate. Like, why give me cognitive dissonance, man? Let me enjoy my movie in peace. Let me hate on the villain in peace. And that is the one thing that I like about these old Bollywood movies. Because इसमें अगर कोई हीरो अगर कोई villain कमीना है तो वो कमीना है. हाँ, एक तो the
Yeah.
one very salient feature about all these villains is that they make the best comedy audience because they don't need any setup punchline to make them laugh. You just need to be a victim. So it's like they can,
Yeah.
if you're a victim, they can just look at it and go, ha 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 ha. There is in the beginning जब भी वो original Karan Arjun को मारने वाले होते हैं, there is, I counted like about a minute and 30 seconds they are just laughing.
Laughing, yeah.
Just laughing. At one point, some guy gives them an applause break also. I was like, इतना अगर funny लग रहा है तो standing ovation दे. इतना funny अगर लग रहा है, मैं इतना as a comedian मैं इतना jealous हूँ because these guys they were not cracking any jokes. Karan Arjun, they were just lying, and still these guys are laughing. I was like, wow. So that's the one thing that you learn about Bollywood villains. Ki they make for the best comedy audience. They can laugh at anything and everything, and they think about you. They empathize with you. They वो पहले से बोल के रखते कि भाई मैं कमीना हूँ, मैं मेरा देख मैं सुबह उठता हूँ औरतों को छेड़ता हूँ. हाँ, वो एक उसमें वो सीन भी है वो जो दोनों जो चंटू बंटू रहते
There,
हैं.
हाँ, there is that line के बहुत दिनों से शिकार नहीं किया, जानवर का भी
या
और औरत का
और
भी.
औरत का भी. So you don't have to feel sorry for them at any given point. That's
Yeah.
the best thing about
Even
these villains.
even the end, it's like Karan Arjun kill Durjan Singh, and that's it. Film is over. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Goodbye, Tata.
Yeah.
There's
It's
one thing I wrote, I forgot to mention. There is a song in which Mamta Kulkarni is trying to seduce Salman Khan by wearing bangles, and suddenly he remembers his mother's bangles. So I've written, "Don't you hate it when your girl is trying to seduce you with her bangles?" And you remember, oh no, mummy, mummy ki, ye to mummy ki chudi hai.
so 2 points
Uh,
is Karan Arjun is a movie ahead of his time that deals with the Oedipus complex very in detail.
Man, I
And
was trying not to go there.
second
Yeah.
thing is that if you were to put the plot line for Karan Arjun is you can say two brothers get back to work after a lifetime. I think that's the plot because they eventually stay in
Yeah.
the village and they're doing some work. So
Yeah,
probably
Yeah.
going
exactly.
to
Seems like it.
And if you think about it, this movie it speaks in volumes about Amrish Puri's strength as a villain. Because imagine he's so strong that you need to take two births to destroy
Yeah.
him. One birth is
To
not
come
enough.
back.
So if
Yeah.
at all
Yeah. Yeah.
anything, this movie is about his valor and his strength. Yes, Shankar.
Karan Arjun should be called Two Birds, One Stone, which is which is
True.
I had to get that.
Two births, one stone. That's great. One thing I mentioned, there is a scene where they're taking Salman to jail, and Shah Rukh asks Mamta Kullar कहाँ ले जा रहे हैं, and she says उसको येरवाड़ा jail ले जा रहे हैं. Yerwada jail is also where famously Sanjay Dutt was kept at that time. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like a comment on that or what, but that's what it
No.
is. Uh, I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. Guys, what aged best according to you, and what has aged the worst? Chunky, for you?
I think the aging of like we say 90s movies and going back in time and watching a movie from that era, I think that still
Lens, huh?
holds to a good amount of the time. I think
Okay.
any gender identity
Yeah.
that is that the way the world was that when you
Correct.
look at from our lens, I think that gets a little jarring,
Yeah.
and you have to adjust the volume
Yeah.
accordingly. Um,
That's true. Yeah, I think Mamta Kulkarni's character uses a like a derogatory slang for transgenders in this film very early in the movie, like very casually.
Yeah.
Not the best. Urjita, what according to you, what's aged the best? What's aged the worst?
I think the bangles.
Have aged the best or the worst?
Yeah, because I
I mean,
still see
they
like
reminded
वो
they.
type
हाँ
वो
हाँ
type
go
के जो
ahead.
bangles है अभी भी वो देखने मिलते हैं. So
I never thought you will take out like a fashion accessory as a as a symbol from Karan Arjun, but sure.
Check out the new
And
Karan Arjun, guys.
what's is the worst?
I think काजोल को जो
The
मार
comedy
देते हैं.
audience as villains.
Yeah. Yes.
Comedy
Yes.
audience as villains? I didn't get that.
Yes.
Comedy audience, like villains who are just great comedy audiences who laugh at just nothing.
Oh,
That has
okay.
aged the worst because they don't do it anymore. We need more villains who are just like ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Hmm. If you were given a chance to program a double feature with Karan Arjun, which movie would you program with it? Shanky?
कोयला. Sorry.
Okay, Urjita has given her answer.
Um, I 1 second. I'll tell you the name of that movie.
Yeah, sure.
Kishan Kanaiya,
Okay.
Anil
Just
Kapoor,
because brothers?
brother Judders, yeah, the Judwa brothers and
Okay.
one guy taking revenge. And it's
Okay.
not punar janam, but there's brother
Right.
and emotion and separating and joining back. I think that would complement this movie
Oh,
comfortably.
Good. I would actually program Cars with Karan Arjun. I think Cars and Karan Arjun are the two like epitome of Punarjanam movies. So I think you can program them both. Cool.
The
Let's get down
Himesh
to the hazard
Reshammiya
as
one
well.
or the original one?
No, the original one, not Cars, just Cars. Okay, let's do the Has It Aged Well rating. The rating is from 1 to 10. 1 being that the film has not aged well at all. Nothing from it makes you happy anymore. And 10 being that you find new something every time you watch it. So, Shanky, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you score Karan Arjun?
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
This is on a
Urjita,
scale
for
of
you?
1 to 5 or 1
1
to
to
10?
10.
1 to 10. Oh, 1 to 10 from 4.5. Oh, okay. You've liked this
I mean,
movie
I'm
a lot.
keeping the movies in mind that if I watch them today, will I still like resonate with them hard? Like
Correct.
Khamoshi is in that same
Oh,
list,
yeah.
which would go higher on this list. That's why I've given, like, I love a lot of aspects about the movie, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be preaching about it being all like today. If you watch it, you have to, because it's lived its time. It lived in an era of
Correct.
Kodak and all of that, and now it's over.
Fair enough. Urjita, for you?
I think like this is on a Has It Aged Well scale, right? तो
Yeah,
वैसे
yeah.
तो वैसे तो 3. But on a
Okay.
rewatchability scale, I think I will give it a 7 with family. Watch
Oh,
it with
fair
family,
enough.
just for the nostalgia element.
Watch it with family where a woman takes off her shirt and checks herself out in the mirror.
Wow, Bas! Wow, you fucking
Oh,
creep.
you said you said watch it with family. So, but that's actually, yeah, I'm also close on that. I think on a Has It Aged Well scale, I would say I would be a little more generous than Chunky. I would say it's a 5 because I think the basics are still in place. I think the storytelling aspects it's got in place. But will I rewatch it? Absolutely. I think even when I watched it now, I wasn't bored at any time. And
Yeah.
also, of course, there's the pure nostalgia of it and Shahrukh and Salman at back when they were at their peak. Do you think whenever the Tiger Pathan crossover happens, they will make any reference to Karan Arjun?
They made a
I-
reference to it in
I
Pathan
think-
also, no?
Yeah, I
Bhag,
think
what was
Pathan
the
already.
reference?
On that train, जब भी वो सलमान लड़
Oh.
रहा था, so he said भाग पठान भाग. That was a reference to Karan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also think
understood.
like that thing in the zeitgeist of Shah Rukh and Salman together in a movie again is something
Yeah,
that generally
yeah.
buzz, even if you don't have memes about it, the buzz is just still there because of how
True.
massive they are.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So those were the Has It Aged Well ratings from Shanki and Urjita. Let's now do the alternate ending segment. Okay, so this is the alternate ending segment where we give the film an alternate ending or we pitch a sequel. So I'll start with myself. I'll go first. So I thought, okay, Karan Arjun have the whole thing, right? They have their punar, they have their past life, and they come to the village and they start remembering things from the past life. I was like, what if the film had a twist where they come here with Kajol and Mamta Kulkarni, and Kajol and Mamta Kulkarni also start having flashbacks, and we realize that they were actually either A, they were courtesans or dancers in Amrish Puri's Haveli, that, or if you want to go really, really bizarre, we'll just go to a flashback where Karan and Arjun had two pet sheep or pet cats, and Mamta Kulkarni and Kajol were the pet sheep and cat. And they were like, hey, you know what? This connection of ours is not just from this janam. We've been with you since the past janam, but we just couldn't speak, bro. We were sheep back then. You used to take off our wool. Well, it's pretty much what you're doing in this janam as well. I'm just saying, just close a loop there.
लव लैंग्वेज क्या होगी उनकी मैं
I'm just saying, close the loop for the heroines as well. Why just keep them hanging? Like Shanki said, they just go along with it. So I'm just saying that I would have given them a little subplot as a twist. Or so like
you are
either
also
that,
Bollywood villain Abbas you are like औरतें क्या
Yeah,
होती
yeah.
है भेड़ बकरी
the second version alternate ending would be if they were the courtesans in Amrish Puri, in Durjan Singh's Haveli, they would like Karan and Arjun would come to a point where they can't find how to kill Durjan Singh, and these two get back a memory कि तुम्हें पता है हवेली में एक secret रास्ता है, उस दरवाजे का अगर तुम खोलो तो सीधा दुर्जन सिंह के बेडरूम में निकलता है. So then these two take the secret door and then they kill Durjan Singh, and that Rakesh Roshan is how you end a movie. Thank you very much. I'm ready. I'm available for Krish 4 if you need me.
I think my alternate ending would be that two alternate endings. Okay, one.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't have any before you said yours. Now, so
Go
one
ahead.
alternate ending is while dying, Amrish Puri. Like the one thing that Amrish Puri, because as I said, I think this is a movie about Amrish Puri's grandeur and valor. It's not about
Correct.
Karan Arjun. So Amrish Puri, like what the one thing that he's really proud of is his lineage and also the fact that usko property chahiye, usko sab pe raj karna hai. While dying, he finds out that Karan and Arjun were actually his kids.
Oh.
So then while dying
Nice.
now he has to die with the additional trauma कि मैं अपने ही बच्चों की जान के पीछे कब से पड़ा था. तो एक ये है एंड द सेकंड ऑल्टरनेट एंडिंग इज दैट वो जो प्रॉपर्टी बड़ी प्रॉपर्टी जिसके पीछे हाथ धो के पड़ा है पता चला कि वो इलीगल है सो उसको
Then it
सब
becomes
मिल तो
घोसला का घोसला.
या उसको प्रॉपर्टी मिल तो गई ठीक है एंड नाउ इन दिस वर्जन ही हैज किल्ड एवरीवन ओके एंड उसको प्रॉपर्टी मिल गई और फिर पता चला बीएमसी आके उठवा के जाती है सो नाउ ही दिस गाय हैज नो पर्पस इन दिस
Why would the BMC come to Rajasthan?
ऐसे ही
The RMC.
या
Sorry, the RMC.
वही बीएमसी हर जगह पहुंच जाती है
Yeah.
Plot to Gio.
Yeah.
I actually really love your first alternate ending. I never thought of it. Yeah, that would have been a great twist. But then that would have implied that Durjan Singh and Rakhi Gulzar had at some point of time slept together, which is not a visual I want in my head.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं what if so in the first version the first original Karan Arjun राखी और उसका कुछ नहीं होता है इसका और किसी दूसरी औरत के साथ होता है राखी adopts those kids because she is not able to have her own kids ऐसा है she wants to save them from this guy it's either
Sorry,
that, it's either the second sorry just and in the second
Yeah, go
Karan
ahead.
Arjun reincarnated Karan Arjun because Amrish Puri is this guy who likes to sow his wild oats everywhere.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
some of his wild oats. So
Wild oats. Thanks for ruining oats for me, Urjita. But I was about to say, Rakesh sir, मेरा number मिटा दो Krish 4 के लिए Urjita available है. Please reach out to Urjita. Shanki,
yes,
alternate
sure.
endings or sequel ideas for Karan Arjun?
I have one alternate ending. I don't want
Sure.
sequel idea for Karan Arjun. I think after the prologue, they show that the new age Karan, Ajay, and Vijay are born with 10 times the PTSD that they show in the original movie, and they
Okay.
become super dark and become thugs and hooligans, and they've done murder even before they turned 18. They become
Okay.
fucking destructive. The plot, half the interval of the movie is both of them reaching back to the village and killing Durjan Singh in the interval itself.
Okay.
They kill him.
Huh.
But the second thing onwards, all the villagers are trying to sympathize with them, understanding that they've gone through a lot. But both of them, because of the amount of PTSD they have, they go on a justice spree where anybody who's done anything wrong, they start killing them left, right, and center. You find out
They become
small
vigilantes.
plot, yeah, small things about men doing small like wrongs in the village where they are apologetic now, but because they did it once wrong, Karan Arjun, Ajay Vijay are like, we don't want anybody else born with this, so we're killing everybody and going to do a fresh start. And the ending of the movie is Karan and Arjun killing each other in front of Rakhi as a this is the end of our fate because we can't ever escape our fate, and we've killed so many people, and we deserve to die. And Karan Arjun kill each other.
Okay. Okay. Netflix, if you're looking for a dark reboot of Karan Arjun, Shanky is available. Please reach out to him. Thanks, Shanky. That got very dark very fast.
This is
I
also
thought
the end
I
I
of
did
would.
not. This is the plot of?
Sorry.
plot the ending of Ram Leela. They both kill each other. Ranveer Singh and
Oh,
Deepika
spoiler
Padukone.
alert for Ram Leela, but it was based on Romeo and Juliet, so you already knew that. But yeah, all right, that brings us to the end of this episode. Shanky, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us from your workspace and looking around and making sure nobody comes in our frame. uh, anything you want to plug? Where can people find you on social media or any comedy videos or comedy shows that you want to plug? Please go ahead.
I am on Instagram. My handle is called Half a Comic. That's HALFACOMIC, Half a Comic. I am generally doing shows in Bangalore, and that's where you can find me. And I'll see you at an audience show, possibly not like a villain from the 90s.
You have a you
अरे
have a
क्या
YouTube
बात
channel as well, right?
शंकर हम तुमको
I,
पाला हूँ
It wasn't Shahrukh's name in Koila Shankar?
yes, yes. So many comics have
Sorry.
sent me the meme of Amrish Puri's white beard, clean face, Shankar haan tumko pala hu. Many times when I do a set and some other comedian like does better to save the night, they send me that meme to tell me that I owe them one. So happens.
Urjita, anything you want to plug? Please go ahead.
you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel at the rate Urjitavani, and you can also follow me on Instagram at the rate Urjitavani. And yeah, thank you. Just love me, guys. That's all I want.
Nice. All right, cool. And you can follow me on Twitter at Abbas Momin and Abbas Momin88 on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel called Abbas Momin, which has 308 subscribers who don't get anything on a regular basis. So please stick around. I will probably, hopefully, upload stuff in the future. But yeah, that was our episode, guys. Once again, thank you, Shanki. Thank you, Urjita, for joining us. We will see you very soon in the next episode next week with a new movie and a new panelist. If you're watching us on IVM Pop, please subscribe to the channel. By the way, thank you for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. When we started this channel last year from September, we had around 3.5K followers, subscribers, because we made one channel into another. So in less than a year, you've given us 10,000. Thank you so much for that. Please subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon, like this video, share it with anyone who you think will enjoy this episode or loves Karan Arjun. And yeah, thank you so much. We will all see you next week. Till then, bye bye.
IVM.